Prudence opens the school for the local white girls in November of 1831. It was very well received. Her visiting committee, a group of local citizens who were there to support her, published a thing in the paper praising her. Boy, this is wonderful. A young Afro-American woman named Sarah Harris, who actually was working as a servant, kitty corner across the street, said, I wonder if I can get a little more learning so I could become a teacher myself. So she approached Prudence Crandall, said, after I finish my duties, may I come over and sit in the back of the classroom? Prudence Crandall thought about this and thought, why not? So Sarah started attending the classes. And what would happen is gradually the parents learned about the fact that Sarah was attending the classes, the same ones that they were paying top dollar for their daughters to come and to participate in. So they withdrew their daughters. They said, this is not right. We don't want our daughters to be in a classroom with a young Afro-American girl. So there's Prudence. She's got a mortgage. She's made a commitment to move to Canterbury to open school. What is she going? So she really starts thinking about this and gets the idea that maybe she will open a school for only young Afro-American women. She, at this time, has started reading an abolitionist newspaper called The Liberator, which started publication in Boston in 1831, and William Lloyd Garrison was an advocate of immediate abolition. She writes him a letter, she doesn't know him, and said, may I call on you, may I come to Boston so you can advise me on this grand plan that I have. So it's very gutsy for a woman to do. She travels to Boston, meets with him, and he, of course, thinks it's a great idea. So in April 1833, she actually opens her school for young Afro-Americans. The reaction of the community was immediate, negative, and violent. The people in Canterbury had a problem. You know, leading the group of people against the school, of which was led by the next door neighbor, Andrew Judson, they had a problem. How do they stop the school? They had tried to intimidate her, and she was not intimidated. So what are they going to do? And so certain storekeepers and people got together and said, well, we'll force her out. We won't sell her any supplies. But luckily, some or two people did, and since her father and brother lived in town, they could bring her supplies. People put manure down her well, so she had no source of water. Her next-door neighbors wouldn't let her take water from their well, so her father would have to haul water from his farm to here in barrels. The girls, when they went outside, they were harassed verbally. You know, people catcalled and trailed them around and just made them feel very uncomfortable. But they all persevered nevertheless. So they started a petition campaign here in Canterbury and in other towns and sent just reams of signatures to the General Assembly saying, you've got to do something about this. So what was called the Black Law was forbid coming across state lines for the purposes of education without the prior approval of the town where the school was located. Once the Black Law is passed, they finally, her opponents have something they can get her on, so to speak. And so they filed the warrant for her arrest, come and arrest her. And they had decided in order to make her case and to get better publicity, she would not post bail. And so they have to put her in jail. So the case was then sent to Hartford to be heard by the Supreme Court of Errors. And they decided that she was not guilty on a technicality, the way that the arrest warrant was originally written out. Now this is at the end of the summer of 1834. The people in town have been probably what they considered very patient. Nothing has happened. That school is still going on. So they take action in their own hands, and in September, in the middle of the night, a mob actually attacks the building. We do know from other information that there were two girls sleeping in this room in September 1834 when the building was attacked in the middle of the night. There's a description of the windows being broken in, and the windows are literally pushed in. So these two girls in bed are watching glass come down on them. Luckily, they weren't hurt in any way. In January of that year, someone set the house on fire. They're all here on a Sunday afternoon, and someone smells smoke, and they run out, and the house is on fire. So at that point, Prudence said, you know, it's not safe for me to be young women here, so I'm going to close the school.